So when you went back, so suppose you went back to caveman times, right? You are you, right? You'd fit in fine.
I'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
I'd be the king.
Maybe.
No, I would.
Right. What would you do then?
How
How
would
would you?
Like you said, they'd be.
They go.
Yeah. Right.
Slightly different, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's exactly the same. We haven't changed bodily. I've got a pair of pants on.
Right. So you go back naked, so you'd fit in.
No. Because I'd look all pale and...
No. You wouldn't go back naked. Or they would take your pants off. The first thing they'd do if you went there with pants, they would rip your pants off.
No, they wouldn't.
They would.
They
You can't go back with pants on. You've got to go back naked. It's summer. They're walking around naked. Why would you go with pants on? Before you get in the time machine, you'd have to take your pants off.
No, because I want to come across like I'm something from the future.
Okay.
So I walk in. They're going, whoa.
What are they doing? What do they say?
They just can't believe it. They're going, what's going on?
What do you say?
I say, I'm just visiting.
What are you wearing then? What are you wearing?
This. I've gone like this.
Okay. They would definitely want to see.
No, they wouldn't.
They would.
They wouldn't, because they're sick of seeing it. To them, it's like being on a nudist beach. They're no longer looking at cock and bollocks and tits and arse. They're seeing it every day. To them, it isn't weird. To me, I'll probably be looking at them. Put some pants on. I don't understand why they couldn't do that, really. I think they did the wheel before the pants.
Really?
Yeah, I think they did.
Biology. The life sciences. Isn't it amazing that we're here? That anything is here? That we're having a chat now in front of these cameras for a DVD extra. And we started off as a single cell blob, a little thing that had the right temperature in the right compound, the right minerals, ultraviolet. A little thing happened. This little nucleus. It was just a cell. Okay?
But I don't like thinking about that.
And then it divided, then it
Yeah.
got a skin, and then...
Yeah. I don't want to know, when people get in touch from Friends Reunited, I go, that was 20 years ago, I don't want to know.
Right.
So I certainly don't want to know about 30 million years ago.
Okay.
I want my little time zone that I'm
Right.
born, I live, and I die in.
Okay.
That's all I can worry about.
It doesn't fascinate you at all. It doesn't fascinate you at
It's
all.
amazing, but it hurts your head, doesn't it? I don't like it. I don't
just
like
by
it.
chance something happened, a genetic mutation, and then that was chosen by nature. It worked. It survived. Okay.
But certain things work and they're not that impressive, like slugs. You always say, well, it's evolved. It hasn't evolved.
Okay. We share about 70% of our genetic material with a slug.
What's 70%?
Well,
What 70% has that got that I've got?
it's got 70%.
I've coughed up stuff that looks like a slug. If that's a 70% you're talking about, but there's nothing else. Nothing in a slug.
There is.
Nothing.
You share DNA with an onion.
I've heard that.
That's the roundness of the head, probably. I'm telling you that the slug has about 70% of the same genetic material as the human species. We're that close. We're that close. All the hard work was done then, in terms of like getting it right. A slug got it right. A slug is as evolved as us. It's perfect.
It's not perfect.
Why? Okay.
Definitely not perfect.
Why? Why isn't it perfect?
It's not great. I've had to deal with slugs a lot when they were like blocking up my shower.
Right.
There was a gang of them in the tube. How can they be as evolved as me? What are they doing? Sat there, just all mushified.
Mushified! Right, talk me through it. What happened?
Just was having a shower and the shower basin filled up. I was
Right.
like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
So I got a plunger.
Right.
Sort of bits of black stuff. I'm thinking, what is this? I had to unscrew the plug hole bit. Couldn't quite get down there.
Yeah.
To take the tiles off the side of the shower thing.
Right.
Got in there, unscrewed it all, got the pipe. Just slugs all in there, all sat in there blocking it up. Don't know how they got in there, but that's what I'm saying to you. They don't know what they're doing. What they're doing, knocking about in there. Get out! Now, what are they doing? I don't know to this day what they do. I watch insects. You know I like insects.
They survive. That's what they do. They're chosen
Yeah, but
by
they
nature.
don't know. There's another one. There's loads of insects knocking about the house. There's a spider in the outside shed.
It's not an insect, nor is a slug. Slug is a mollusk. Spider's an arachnid.
All right.
Okay.
Spider's in the cupboard outside.
Right.
I'm not joking. It's been there now for about 2 years.
Right.
Could be 3.
Okay.
Same one. It's quite big.
Right.
Just sits there in the corner.
Right.
I go in. I smash its web up
Why?
because I don't want it there.
Right.
I
Fine.
don't want to kill the spider.
No.
But I'm sort of saying, I'm wrecking your house. If you move, there's no problem, move. I go back, it's built its web again. Just sat there like that. Doing nothing. What is the point?
Well, it's not doing nothing, is it?
Well, it's building its house every
It's
time I wreck
hunting.
it.
It's hunting.
It's not even doing that.
Well, it is. That's what it. That's how it does it. It's made a web, and things fly into it. Then it wraps them up, sucks the juice out.
But
Right.
for what? To then sit in this shed.
What
it's
are
not
you
an
doing?
Existence.
What
Why
are you-
doesn't it go?
But you're eating. You're staying in your flat. You want to go back to Mallorca 5 years ago. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh, it depends. I've been.
Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen in another billion years? You'll be the slug. The human race could be the slugs. There could be this amazing being that evolved from us. Going, what are they doing? People go, well, you know, 70% of their genetic material. You don't know how it's going to go. You stood on the shoulder of giants. You stood on a few slugs. You told me in your flat, but we share our ancestry with those slugs. We are related to slugs.
I have never watched Who Do You Think You Are? And they've gone in your family tree. Do you know Terry the Slug? He's a great uncle of yours. We don't need to know where we've come from. And nobody would want to hear that either on that programme. You would not want to hear that.
Yeah, but you're.
It's nothing to do with us.
Oh.
It's happened. It's all an accident.
But it's a matter of degrees. Your brother. Right. Okay. Very close to you. Your
I
cousin.
haven't seen him for about 12 years.
Okay, genetically speaking. Couldn't get closer. Okay? It's the closest you can be. A brother, a son, a mother. Except a clone. An identical twin. Okay? So, cousin. A bit less. Great cousin. Bloke round the world. Chimp. Marmot. Mouse. Bird.
I don't know what you're doing now. You're just saying words at me. What's a marmot?
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But you're related to him. You're related to him. With all our evolution, now we can sit around doing Sudoku and inflaming our mind and inventing art and stuff. So I want to use scientific method. Let's use a bit of logic. Okay. I'll give you a couple of conundrums because I want to see how you've evolved. Okay. There's 2 children sitting on a bench.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a boy and a girl. Okay.
They're the kids on the bench.
Yeah.
There's a boy and a girl sat on a bench.
Yeah. The blonde-haired child
Yeah.
says, "I'm a girl."
Right.
The brown-haired child says, "I'm a boy." At least one of the children are lying. Which one's the boy and which one's the girl?
But what else can I see there? Can
You
I tell
can't-
by the way they look, or am I blind?
No, you can't see.
I'm blind.
Yeah, you can't see. I'm telling you. This is all the information you need.
And they actually sound, I can tell by voice.
No, you can't. No, you can't. I'm telling you, okay?
So hang on. Say
2
this
children
is
sitting on
your-
a bench, right?
You've come to me. I haven't seen these.
No.
I have not heard them. You've come
No,
to me and said,
yeah.
"I've just been in the park."
Yeah.
Say again. I've just been in the park.
Yeah.
And I've seen
Yeah.
a lad and a girl. One had brown hair. One had blonde hair.
Yeah. The blonde-haired child said, "I'm a girl."
Yeah.
The brown-haired child said, I'm a boy. At least one of them is lying. Which one's the girl and which one's the boy?
I don't know.
Well, think.
I don't want to.
Why don't you want to?
I don't want to work it out.
It's a very easy one. Just think through the scenarios in your head.
I'm a girl. Who said that? The brown-haired one. I'm a
No,
girl.
the blonde-haired one said, I'm a girl.
One of them is lying.
Yeah, at least one of them is lying.
The lad.
So just the boy is lying.
Or both of them are.
Well, they've got to be both lying, haven't they? Why?
Because there's a boy and a girl there. One of them's saying they're a girl, one's saying they're a boy.
Yeah, so if one of them's lying,
But they're both lying.
they have to be both lying. So the blonde-haired kid's a boy.
Right.
See?
But what are you doing with that?
Because it trains the mind to think logically, to think through it. That's imposing a scientific method. Kings of Leon, Molly's Chambers on XFM 104.9. Thanks to Lauren Laverne there for the last few hours. Coming up, we have got some great music, Steve. We've got Kings of Leon, as you heard. We've got Alba, we've got The Darks, we've got Coldplay, Coral, Rolling Stones, we've got some Springsteen, The Smiths. Do you know what I mean? Do you need any more? And with all that, we've still got Pete Skinner with his wacky weather report.
Excellent, good old Pete.
Hey?
Nice to have him back.
Good news, Steve. Got some here brought in. It's just a normal soup. It's Rooster's Pride. What flavour soup's that, Steve?
Oh, I know you brought that, and it's all a genuine article, and it's cock soup. Oh, please, can I have a close look at that? Maybe there's some more humour I can draw.
What, you want a closer look at my cock soup?
Just a cock soup. Let me just. It says here delicious, appetising.
Oh,
3 to 4 servings.
Because you know what I'm thinking of when you're talking about the soup?
I'm trying to think of innuendo.
I'm just thinking of a man's cock.
Penises, yeah. Let me just.
It's the darkness.
Use Rooster's Pride cock soup as a snack with crackers or toast.
Still thinking of a normal knob.
An appetiser, again, or a soup base. That doesn't really work as an innuendo.
No,
That's disappointing. We'll work on that, though.
The darkness growing on me on XFM 104.9. Going well, isn't it?
I've enjoyed it so far.
It's been a bit naughty and everything.
Yeah, a bit
like,
smart.
Nothing
wrong with that.
No. Karl,
Alright.
having a good day?
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah?
What mood are you in this week?
What
'Cause we
mood
always
is that?
trying to assess each week, you know, it's a bit edgy.
He's got a red head. What's all that? He's got a red head all around the side and the front. What's that?
Sunburn?
No, I think I'm allergic to having my head rubbed.
Right. Right, now who would rub your head? That sounds a bizarre thing. Your girlfriend?
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Who's been rubbing your head?
Well, yeah, but I was squeezing his head, fair enough, and he was screaming in agony. And then he went and made me a cup of coffee. And as he came over, just spilt boiling hot coffee on my legs. I'm all wearing shorts, and he went, "Sorry," just like that. It's like a series of Jackass out there this morning. I mean, my legs are burnt. Your head's a little bit red. But apart from that, having a good day.
Not bad. I was on the way in today, right, Steve?
Walking in?
Walking in, always walking in. I get left early and stuff. I like to get in early, get some bits done, that.
Monkey News, songs of phrase.
That sort of thing. And living in London, right, there's a lot of shops that open early and stuff. Do you know what I mean? People say that's a good thing about London.
Yeah.
It's almost like 24-hour city and stuff, right? I'm walking in and there's like, you know, you've got your news agents open.
Obviously.
You know, selling newspapers and that. That's good. They've got to be open early. Then you've got your coffee shops, your Starbucks.
Have a cup of coffee in the
do you know what I
morning.
mean?
Yeah.
They're doing well in the morning. Then you see like the odd restaurant and you think, well, maybe they sort of got the doors open but they're preparing for lunch, so you think, fair enough.
Yeah. I'll let that pass.
Yeah. Carrying on walking down the road. Bondage shop. Open.
Sure.
About 10:30.
Yeah.
Busy, was it?
There's a couple in.
Really?
Some good offers. About 10:30 for a bondage shop.
I'm assuming if you're into bondage, though, you stock up at any time, day or night. I mean, you don't...
Yeah?
Well, I assume it...
I suppose you get up and you go, "Oh, I've got nothing on. I need to be a bit tied down.
Yeah.
I need some rope.
These clothes are too baggy. I need more belts.
Oh, God.
I need more straps.
Yeah. Get some rubber on my face.
Weird, don't it?
What were you doing in there?
So, just having a browse. But, so a bit worried really, because the things that I've noticed this week like that's probably a little bit smutty. You've brought your soup in.
I just found it out there. Sorry, yeah. It is Rooster's Pride, cock soup, noodle soup mix, chicken flavour. But I mean, Do they not know that is obviously just going to be used on the Graham Norton show and Chris Tarrant when he's doing his show abroad?
Yeah.
I mean, do you know what I mean? How could they call it cock soup in this day and
Don't
age?
keep saying it.
Well, no, it's fine, because you can say cock as long as it means the male we've done this.
Oh, do you mean a chicken?
Yeah, look, it's a picture of a chicken.
Yeah, sorry.
What did you think it meant?
No, I don't know, I just lost my head.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's something else that's a bit sort of...
A bit blue?
A little bit blue, but then it's real as well, do you know what I mean?
Well,
it's a
that
problem.
excuses it.
Go on.
There's a programme
We
in the
couldn't
week.
have said the cock soup if we'd made it up, but because it's real, it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. We also couldn't have said the cock soup if we'd have meant a male penis.
Thankfully we don't, so...
We mean a
no,
little
no.
chicken. Go on.
Yeah, this programme was on. It was Wednesday night, something. About this little lad.
Yeah.
It was a fella and a woman.
At the same time. What
What
was
do
it,
you
like
mean?
like a cartoon with a secret identity?
By
Yeah.
night. What do you mean? He had both
By day a
sexes?
boy, by night a
Yeah,
woman.
he had it all.
Yeah,
What do you, sorry, wait. So he had male and female genitalia.
Yeah.
So what do you call someone that's born like that?
Weird.
Weird. Yeah.
Now, what's the term for it? Go on. You know it. We've talked about it before.
Aphrodite.
Really? So close! Hermaphrodite. Yeah, hermaphrodite. Yeah.
That's weird, don't it?
Yeah.
And he had the ball,
Yeah.
and he had the...
Well, what happened was he was born, right?
Obviously.
And the doctor said, there you go. Lovely little boy and girl. So the mum was like, what? So he said...
No, I don't think the doctor was sarcastic.
Yeah, what?
I don't think the doctor was, sort of dissing them.
Yeah.
There you go. What do you mean, doctor? I'll have a look. There's the cock, there's the minge. Alright, see you later. What are you gonna call it? But doctor, what do you mean? Have a look. He wasn't sarcastic. He didn't give
Don't
clues.
tell me what you mean, give me a straight answer.
He probably went, oh shit, she's got a cock. He didn't go, he wasn't sarky to the parents.
No,
Anyway.
no, but I'm just getting across, do you know what I mean? I always had a little bit just to...
Yeah, I know you
spice
do,
it
yeah.
up,
You should
spice
be
it
a
up.
newsreader. Be brilliant.
So there's a little kid lying there,
Yeah.
and the mum says, you know, what am I going to do then? So the doctor, I mean, I'm condensing this. It was like
Sure.
an hour long.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he says, she said, what will I do? And the doctor said, well, he's not sort of well hung,
Right.
Oh,
so he's better.
not sort of well on. This doctor
medical
has
term.
been, I assume, has been struck off since for saying these things.
It was a real doctor, it wasn't Dr. Fox.
Yeah. Right, go on.
So the doctor said, so I recommend that we make it a woman,
Right.
right? So they sort of do a little bit of,
Jiggery pokery.
yeah, a little bit of work. And
I don't think that's true, Carl.
no, it is. It was on the programme.
But I think they can tell, really what they were meant to be from the chromosomes, can't they? They can tell whether they're X, Y, Y, or
Yeah,
X.
not just, it's not
It's
very
just-
well hung.
No, I
Yeah.
tell you what, because back then, when this was going
Yeah,
on,
no,
right,
I'm just thinking they might not have had to.
the doctors then thought if you had a kid, right, and you thought it's a bit ugly, maybe it'll have a better life if it was a fella. If it was a girl and it's a bit ugly and you think it's going to get hard time.
Right, don't talk shite.
What?
What? That a doctor would go, right, you've had a young girl, I'll tell you what, she's a pig, let's pop a cock on her. Don't
No,
talk
I'm not saying,
shite.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, say if you have like I say, a girl. I just think it's harder if a girl's ugly
Yeah.
and she's growing up.
Yeah.
She has a harder time.
Yeah.
Don't you agree with that? If
Possibly, but you don't
they
change
don't
someone when
change-
they...
they don't-
when-
No, yeah.
You don't change their gender
No,
because
but
they're
I'm
a
just
bit of a
saying
minger.
what I'm saying is the Elephant Man would have had a harder time if it was Elephant Woman. Is what I'm saying. But listen to me, listen. What the doctor was saying is, if you get a baby before it's 2,
Yeah.
back then they thought you could sort of say, well, instead of giving it a go-kart, give it dolls to play with.
Right, back when? What are we talking about?
The Middle Ages?
We put a song on, come back to this.
Yeah, it's Bruce Springsteen, Atlantic City. Bruce Springsteen, Atlantic City, on XFM 104.9. Okay, look, have another go, Carl. What were you saying? As an hermaphrodite, yeah, he was born with both sets. The doctor said he's not well hung, let's lose that.
Let's get rid of that.
Let's
Make
make
it
it
a
into a
woman.
girl. Okay. I'm with you so far, go on then.
So, anyway, gets away with it a little bit in the early years.
Right.
starts going to school, gets away with it a little bit,
Sure.
right? But then, do you know when you get to that age and your head goes all funny? Like when you're a teenager and you sort of, I don't know, your skull goes.
Mine never did.
What are you talking about?
No.
Yes,
That
what do you
sort
mean
of
your head goes all
teenage
funny?
years when you look a bit odd. Do you know what I mean? You go from being quite a good-looking person, and then your body starts growing.
At a different rate, so
Yeah,
you never know. You never know till 21 whether you're going to be a looker or not, or whether it's just.
Yeah.
I know.
Right.
Go on.
Yeah, I'm still waiting.
So,
Your head grew outwards at exactly the same rate, didn't it? That's why it's
Your
spherical.
head grew faster than your hair.
He's got a lovely head of hair, but just below the skull.
Yeah.
He's got a little afro in there,
Yeah.
but it just couldn't get through the follicles. It couldn't catch up the skull. Expanding. Oh, bless him. Oh, come on, Baldy.
but the thing is, right, so you see these pictures of the lad stroke woman
Yeah.
who's trying to be a woman at the age of 14, 15.
Yeah.
She's got one of them big heads,
Right.
like a
okay.
lad. Doesn't, she starts having a hard time. She doesn't want to play with the mates, with the dolls and all that. She's more into go-karting and that sort of thing. Gets to an older age,
Yeah.
decides to go back, is now sort of with a woman and having a life of a fella.
But did he did the doctor keep it for him in case he needed it?
No, he's had one put on though.
Has he? Where did he get that from?
Don't know, maybe that bondage shop.
Carl, you promised me that you were going to reintroduce Educating Ricky.
Yeah, we can do that.
Have you got it? Have you got something that will, that's something that I won't know that's correct and that will interest me?
Yeah, there's loads of stuff.
Is it anything to do with monkeys?
No, we've got monkey news.
We've got monkey news coming up, of course we have.
Yeah.
Monkey news people, and they're now over to XFM for monkey news with Karl Pilkington.
No, we won't do that yet. We're not doing that yet. Educating Ricky is...
Yeah. Well, let's do it.
We did it ages ago.
Educating Ricky. Oh, that's interesting, and it's correct.
Hang on a minute, though. What I do is, I tease you, don't I, with headlines.
Oh, go on then.
And then you have
Yeah.
to sort of go, that one sounds good.
Go on then. What
I
are
want
the
to know
headlines?
more about that. Educate me.
Yeah,
Right?
okay.
You've got, well...
Jeez. Oh.
That Nelly died.
That Nelly died. All right.
Okay. Okay. Could be about an elephant.
Yeah.
Go on.
You've got that. You've got, well...
I got well. Take well for as read. So they all start with well. Okay.
Knob body has been that lucky before.
Brilliant. All right.
Okay.
Or you've got get a lobe of this court case.
Right. Okay.
Not bad.
I'm going
Interesting.
for knob body. It's been that lucky before.
Right, it's a story about this kid who was born, right?
Was he?
Yeah, he was popped out, like, and the dad and the mum saw the baby, and he was like, oh, that's a good-looking little kid.
Sure.
And they were proud and that. And then,
I love that they're surprised that it's a good-looking little kid. It's theirs.
yeah.
Like it could have been it could have been a frog, and they'd have gone, "Oh, he's got your eyes."
and then, the doctor goes, yeah, it is, but, look at that.
What?
He said, it's a boy, and, hasn't got a knob.
I love the doctor saying that. I love this GP.
Right.
Oh, this midwife saying that. Oh, I love little boy. Yeah, but no knob, baby. Mr. and Mrs. I mean, think.
Right. No, but I'm speeding it up a bit.
All right. Come on. So the baby's
Right, so
born.
the baby's like
and
that,
Doctor
and
says,
the
"Look,
doctor
dude,
says
got
that, and the woman's like, oh, it's our first as well, and stuff, right? She's really gutted.
What's the second going to be like?
So,
Go ahead.
Just a knob.
doctor says, yeah.
Look like Karl. Right, go on.
Right, go on.
So the doctor says, well, I'll leave it with you for a bit, get used to the idea, right?
As opposed to throwing it away.
So he wanders off.
Yeah.
He comes back with a smile on his face, right?
Found the knob.
So the mum and dad are like, what are you smiling about? He says, you're not going to believe this. Baby's just been born. It's got two. Right? You can have one of them. And they did a little operation.
Where did you get this information from?
That's in a book.
What book?
Is it the
a
same as the
joke
book that you carry round with you?
No.
With the woman with 3 legs, the juggler with 9 arms, and the bloke who found shagging a chicken under a rock. Is it in that book?
Weird though, isn't it?
Well, it's not true.
It is true.
What, in the same hospital, there was a baby born without a knob. Luckily, it's Karl.
What happened?
You're not, you swear to God you're not making
The
it up.
not
doctor
making it
came
up,
back
honest to God.
smiling, because you won't believe it.
There's a baby there with an excess of a knob.
It happened, honestly. I'm not, all these things are not made up, the educating stuff. That's why I do it, isn't it? Teaching you stuff, always teaching you stuff.
Alright, if anyone can confirm the baby with no knob,
they're
the
going to
baby with
confirm it
two.
because they're going to go to the same dubious website that Karl got it from.
I always try to be level-headed and reasonable in these situations.
And
You always
it's
ignore
always
it.
Guatemala or Mexico. Rodriguez was born without a knob. Luckily, baby next door, and then was got 2 knobs. What a load of shite. Play record. Karl, what you got lined up for us now?
Right, well, you've got a choice.
Nearly dead?
You can have a bit of educating.
Yeah, that's how educating. Come on.
Educating Ricky. Can we just clarify what this is? I think a lot of new listeners perhaps aren't familiar with this.
It's when Karl looks on the internet and finds a weird story about, the double knob, fun, and tells me about it, and it's usually not true.
Okay.
If it is true, I know it already. Go on then, Karl.
They're not really weird stuff, it's just stuff that's gone on. That's interested me, that's all it's about, and I educate about it.
I should just confirm that we've had a number of emails that say the baby born without a knob and then having one transplanted from a baby that luckily enough had 2 knobs is apparently true.
Listen.
So-
I don't question that you could be born with a deformity and get someone's, fingers, knobs, What I'm saying is, it didn't happen with a doctor goes, I'll leave with it. I don't believe it. That baby's got 2 knobs.
Exactly.
What a coincidence. I bet that little bit of information isn't in there, is it?
Sure.
That he went out the door, I'm gonna get a coffee, came back, bloody hell, hold on, look, there's an extra knob, I found an extra knob. We can put that knob on there. Perfect.
Right, well, you've opted for the headline, It Nearly Died. Right?
Yeah.
It's about this elephant.
Yeah.
80 years old. In Africa. Right? It's had quite a good life and that. But then what happens is, I don't know what it's been eating, but, his teeth fall out.
Yeah, that's what most elephants die of that because they grind them down, the teeth, until they can't chew anymore, and most elephants dying of old age with an elephant is the fact that you haven't got teeth anymore.
But it's had a good innings, it was 80.
Yeah.
Right? So anyway.
They used to pop the food up and feed it to it, and it lived quite happily.
No, what they did was, the village got together, said,
Chewed the food for
that's
it.
sad, isn't it? Made it some false teeth. Made it some teeth. Out of wood. Wooden teeth for this elephant, that's 80. What do you think of that?
I don't know. I don't know if it's true, I mean...
No, it is, forget that, you've been proved wrong once. It is true. What do you think about that?
Oh, Karl, it's like saying, yeah, my Auntie Nora saw a ghost. What do you think about that? There's no comment. I can't comment on it.
Would you have gone to the trouble, is what I'm saying?
To build an elephant some
It's
teeth?
80, it's 80.
Yeah.
With all the problems Africa's got and that, and they're messing about making teeth for an elephant.
What problems have Africa got?
Well, there's not enough food to go around, so if an elephant's dead, that's a bit more food left. Do you know what I mean? Why?
Yeah, but you're assuming this is in the middle of a village where there was famine and starvation. It might have been. It might have been South Africa, Kenya. You don't know. It's not all. It's not all Ethiopia.
If it was a busy city, people in the village wouldn't have time to be messing about with making teeth and that, would they? It was a little village. Little village.
Yeah.
And a local elephant.
The local elephant, like a local post office. I'll meet you by the elephant.
No, to be fair, Rick, I think I saw Bob Geldof on TV saying, please, people, stop making elephants' teeth. They are eating all the food, we're sending it over there.
F the number. Where's the teeth? I don't know. It's possible.
Send us the
I mean,
teeth.
it's possible. It's possible that they've made this elephant some dentures. It is possible.
Wouldn't it have been easier to just...
Pulp it.
Exactly.
I'd have
Mash
thought-
it up, serve it some soup or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, if you're making its teeth, it's really. So I'd have thought it's I wouldn't have thought it would work for very long, and I wouldn't have thought the elephant would understand that it was teeth. So I wouldn't have been able to thought that the villagers could do it. I mean, top veterinary surgeons could have done something, but I think they made it all goodwill. But I don't want to thought it worked, so they probably ended up dying or pulping it like I suggested. But thanks very much. Play a record. Right. Okay. You got the final educating Ricky, Karl.
Get a load of this court case.
Yeah.
What happened was, right,
Allegedly.
fella's in court for something that he shouldn't have done, right?
Yeah. You got all the detail then at your fingertips.
And the jury says, he's guilty, right? And the judge went, what, he's not guilty, off you go then, right? He misheard it. They couldn't do anything about it because once the judge has sort of said, "You're not guilty. Off you go. Off you go. You can go home." And the jury were like, "What are you doing?" They said he's guilty. And I was like,
What do you think of the Thorns album?
I'm quite a big fan, Rick. Yeah, I like that sort of alt country sound. I think
I
it's,
know. And that compilation you made me, that was
that sort of thing.
really good. The Jayhawks, thanks for that, by the way.
There was the hanging one, wasn't there? There was the hanging one that happened.
Are you still there?
What bands have you been checking out recently? Any new things?
Just exploring all kinds of stuff. Obviously, you know, I like dipping back into the old stuff. I'll tell you what I've been appreciating a lot recently, Rick. Billy Bragg.
Oh, brilliant, yeah.
Great guy.
Isn't he playing
He's playing
soon?
in March, yeah, you might want to try and
You heard
check
about
that
the hanging one when
What's this
the
one?
fella was...
Sorry, mate, go on.
When the fella was hung.
Well hung?
He was hung and...
Sorry, what's hung?
He was hung by a rope.
So, isn't that... No, I think it wasn't he, a Chinese emperor? And wasn't he hung?
Yeah.
Sorry, he was hung.
Some fella who'd done something, they hung him.
It's not a word anymore, he was hung.
Well, don't be doing that again, because you said squoze wasn't a word, and then I showed you a menu today that someone sent, and it said fresh orange.
Yeah.
Squoze.
In inverted commas, and next to it was the word colour, spelt C-O-L-O-R. So, presumably either the American menu, right, in which case, there's loads of American words that we don't use, or it's just a badly typed piece of work.
Anyway, there was a bloke that was hung.
He was hung and that, but he didn't die.
Hung on that, he was definitely a Chinese. Hung on that, yeah. I remember him now, yeah.
He didn't die, and they said, "Oh, just hang on a minute whilst we change the rope and that," and he stood there waiting, changed the rope. They, tried to, you know, do it again, and, didn't work.
It didn't work, right.
So,
Yeah.
they got another rope, right? Didn't work. And then they had to let him go, because it's like there's a well-known saying or something from this thing.
Yeah. Have you seen, do you like, Oh My Car's On by, Tim Burton's new single?
I don't know that I'm
Right,
particularly
Oh, it's
familiar with
brilliant.
it.
Can we play a bit later?
no.
Yeah, can we play it? Let's play a record now, and, we'll, talk more a bit later.
Well, yeah, then, here's a good one.
Go on then.
Right, in Dubai, this woman went to Dubai for a holiday. And, she was over there, and apparently in the markets...
Bitten by a spider?
They sell lizards.
Oh, go on.
Right, just like for people to buy. So she buys one, not knowing that you're not really meant to take him out of the country.
Sure.
Puts it in a bag.
Yeah. As you do.
What have you? And, then she gets to the airport when she's going home, she's thinking, I can't really leave it in my bag.
Yeah.
So she puts it on her head.
On her head?
Wears it as a hat.
She wore the lizard as a hat?
Yeah. People on the plane were just like, yeah, everything's fine, you know, they're doing the cross-checks and that.
Yeah.
Have you got your seatbelt on? Yeah.
There's a woman
great.
there with a lizard hat.
Everything's going well. She gets off the plane at Manchester Airport. Lizard sticks its tongue out.
Yeah.
The air hostess says, what are you doing with that? She goes, I've had it.
Lizard said, I just found her in Dubai.
They said, I've had this with me all journey, and they said, well, you shouldn't have done, and they took it off her.
Yeah, I think that is true, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about that?
Yeah, good, yeah. Yeah. That educated me. Right, what, any more?
Well, what's that taught you? That's taught you, you know, be careful when smuggling lizards
Yeah.
back as some kind of hat.
Yeah, just say, lizard, keep your tongue in, you twat. Not at the customs officer! Yeah.
And, what else have we got?
Anyone didn't quite make it?
Anything to declare? I've got a lizard on my head.
We've got an old saying one, if you want that.
Go on then.
Are these ones, sorry, are these ones that didn't make the list?
These are ones that didn't make it.
Oh,
yeah.
right, okay.
Because I always get more in than I need to, just in case.
Just think if someone's just tuned in now. Is Anders listening? Is,
Well, I'll tell you,
Dickie
bizarrely,
Anderson?
I've got an email from Richard Anderson, Dickie Anderson.
Go on.
The Dick Machine, which...
The big dick, which...
now this is interesting. It's, I mean, I think we're wearing him down. Ricky, I think your show might be improving.
Go on.
That sense of despair and loneliness I normally feel when listening to your show doesn't seem so bad today.
He's
That's Richard
desensitised to it.
Anderson. Yeah, exactly.
Or he's
We're
given
wearing
up.
him down.
Or he's just given up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you listen to this long enough and you'll stand.
Right, so...
Let's get out of this house.
We've got one more...
Go on.
Educating Ricky to...
Go on and quick then. I need educating.
Right, Don't rub it too hard, you'll get a rasher.
How was he going to outwit Darren Brown? You said something in the break.
Oh, I have to say, yeah, Darren Brown, who we bumped into as well, and he did this incredible trick where he puts £40 down on the table. He says, I can tell you which hand you've got a £1 coin in, let's say 5 times out of 5, you know, so I have a £1 coin in one hand, I put it behind my back, I bring my hands out, and he can tell me every single time which hand it's in by asking questions, by doing various
Well, he
things.
doesn't ask, but he just goes, no, you might put it in that one, you might do the same again, but then you're an intelligent person, you pray that way, he goes, so it's in that one, and he does it every time.
And he gets it every time.
Incredible.
It's absolutely majestic. And I mentioned this to Karl.
Yeah.
And, well, Karl, you tell me how you think you could outwit Darren Brown. Because your dad used to do this trick, you told me.
My dad used to play this.
Yeah. How old were you?
Dunno, probably about 10.
So you probably weren't as sharp as you were now, then?
So he used to play it, and the way of telling what hand he's got it in, his hand looks bigger. So that's all you've got to do.
That's how he did it then! That's
So
how
to catch Darren out, to catch
It was a bit
Darren out.
different because he did it with golf balls, but
To catch Darren out, Karl told me, Rick,
He did it with a spud!
to catch Darren out, the hand which hasn't got the coin in, just make it slightly bigger. Just make it, like, extend it slightly, so it's slightly larger, and that'll catch Darren out. He'll never be able to stop
That's
that.
how he did it.
or just put £1 in each hand.
Okay.
And wind him up. Just go, no, you're wrong.
You are brilliant, Karl.
Yeah.
Do this one.
Did your dad used to do the one where he takes your nose off of your face and puts it between his fingers?
Did you keep going to the doctors?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Right.
You know how that's done? You know he's not actually taking your nose
It's his
off.
thumb. Go
It
on.
is his thumb.
Last one.
Yeah.
Don't rub it too hard, you'll get a rasher. It's been a mess today, hasn't it?
What do you mean it's been a mess?
It's been a mess.
What has?
This.
What? The show?
Yeah.
How has it been any worse?
It's just all over the place. There's no sort of, it's not tight like it normally is. And she'll be going away with this, thinking that's what the show would be like.
She listens
On
to the
MTV.
show. She knows it's a shambles every week. Go on.
Well, don't rub it too hard, you'll get a rasher.
Yeah.
Do you know the saying, ham it up?
Yeah, go on, yeah.
Right, well, do you know what it means?
Well, it means to overact.
Right. Well, years ago, with actors in musicals and stuff, the actors used to look pretty ill on the stage because they didn't have proper makeup and that.
Right.
Right. So what they used to do, to make themselves look
Rub their face in pigs?
well, they got bacon, rubbed it on the face, and it made the face a bit sticky because of all the, like, you know, the pig fat and bit of lard and stuff like that. And then they'd go and get some bricks.
Bricks.
Yeah, house bricks. Rub them together, make some sort of red dust from the brick, and then put the dust on the face. And the fat and the lard and that would make the dust stick to the face. And they'd look well under the lights. And that's where they're
They'd
saying...
smell great as well.
Yeah, well...
Lovely. Everyone likes the smell of bacon.
No, but... So that's the old, ham it up, that's where
like
that
that.
comes from.
You know, if it's true, I've no reason to think that it's not.
So that's your third Educating Ricky today. So, what have you learned?
Nothing. Absolutely sod all.
You've got your hamming it up.
Yeah.
Rams are gay. They know which ones are gay now.
Now!
And,
At last, thank God.
the fella who can hand read, an arse.
If you missed the rest of the show, what are you going to make of that? Have you just tuned in?
You are a maniac, Karl.
So, you mentioned Educating Ricky. We've only got, do you know we normally have like 3 instalments?
Yeah.
We've only got 2 today.
Why?
Just,
Well, you clearly weren't busy Christmas shopping, so what's
Yeah. Yeah.
well, like I say every week, it's a bit of a struggle finding stuff that I can teach you.
I bet you were gutted you missed that programme, weren't you?
Well, I'm interested in stuff like that, because I like learning, which gets us on to Educating Ricky.
Oh, excellent, slick.
We've had a good year of stuff.
We
teaching
have,
stuff.
well. Yeah, I've learned a lot.
Can you remember any of the
Of course I
highlights?
can. There was a deaf girl and she hit her head and she could hear.
Yeah.
There was also some people who ate tomatoes thought they were poisonous on lead. There was also a doctor who gave a blood transfusion with some parrots from the pet store.
Yeah.
Because the doctor in America, and it was the olden days when the lines were bad, said give him his parents' blood, and the doctor this side thought said give him some parrot's blood. So that was true, and that educated me.
That was fact. What have you got for us?
Well, we've only got 2, because I've taught you about jellyfish today, that we need them, so we've only got two things to go at, and I give them a little headline so you remember them, to make them snappy. The 2 headlines you've got, oh, what a catastrophe.
Okay.
And the second one is, well, you'd think it'd be Bughead, wouldn't you?
What?
Well, you'd think it'd be Bughead, wouldn't you?
You'd think it beat
No, you'd think it'd be.
Yeah.
You'd think it'd be Buggered, wouldn't you?
Bughead.
Bughead.
This can't be. If this is anything with a bug living without a head, I'm not interested. Because we've done it. All you've done is
Well, let's just do what a cat.
So it is that. Well, do that one first.
Which one are we doing?
No, do the bughead one.
Right, well, the Bughead one. Well, we've talked a lot about animals and that, haven't we, without heads.
Surprisingly, we have. I think a disproportionate amount on it.
If you're a new listener, this is the first time you listen, you'd be surprised.
Yeah, we've done all that. We've covered worms, the way if you cut their head off it grows back if you don't cut too high above its neck. We've covered
The chicken.
the fella who blinked.
Yeah. I can't go into it again.
Right.
Let's not go into it again.
We've had the chicken with no head that lived for 8 months.
Yeah.
And we've had
And we've had the
cockroaches.
cockroaches living for a week without an head.
Right, okay.
Well, it's a bit more on the cockroach front, really.
Right.
They found, right, that if you get a cockroach
Yeah.
and you cut its head off,
Yeah.
right, and then you find a cockroach that's still got its head, but it hasn't got any legs,
Right.
right, it's not over for both of them, right? Because what you can do, you get the one that's got the legs
Right.
with no head,
Yeah.
sort of running around, get the one with the head, sit it on top of it,
Right.
get a little tube
Okay.
so that the fluids.
So is this Aunt is gone out of the
Let him
room?
finish.
Is this like Blue Peter?
Let him
You could get this for Christmas.
Right, you
Yeah.
get a little tube, you sit that on top so the bodily fluids are still running between the two.
Right.
The head of the one on the top will control the feet of the one on the bottom.
Okay.
What about
Good.
And, will it continue to live?
that? Yeah.
Okay, you don't know that for sure, do you?
No, that was just a question out of the blue he wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think of that?
Good, yeah, it's great. Yeah, just a primitive nervous system that can, yeah. Yeah.
Did you expect us to be more impressed and excited by that?
Well,
Did you fall off your chair when you read that? Did you literally topple off? Going,
Did you
"Whoa, look at
did you
cartoon."
think you were going to be the Frankenstein of the insect world?
Yeah.
No, I just was thinking if they can do that, you know,
With them, can they do it with
can humans? Because I also did a bit of research
course
on.
you did.
Did you come to the sort of conclusion that apart from the moral aspect of it, that the human was probably more complicated than?
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Things move on, don't they? Do you know what I
Modern
mean?
science, Rick.
You know, I had Binatone as a kid. Now they've got PlayStation 2, and the difference in 10 years.
They
is
have
amazing.
found that if you lose your head, a cockroach can live normally on your body, but not the other way round. Your head on it cannot control its legs because it's
Yeah.
too complicated
It's
for
too
your
confusing.
brain. So, yeah.
Well, then other research. Because I thought if you don't learn from that, I'll give you something else for free, right?
Go on. Free.
That they can clone people.
Uh-huh.
The only reason they don't do it, right? Say if like Ricky needed a lung, right? They could clone you and make you the same. But the only reason they don't want to do it is because it'd be a bit horrible, wouldn't it? So
And it would take sort of 18 years for me to get an adult lung.
And there's all kinds of moral implications.
yeah.
What do you mean, yeah? You hadn't thought of that?
Because lest we forget, Rick, he ended with the only reason they don't do it is because it's a bit horrible and that. Which scientist said that?
Right, let's
That's
leave
a
that then.
quote.
Right. That's not it. That's not the other one.
That's it.
No. That was just, you know,
We've got another one to come.
Oh, I
Teach us
can't wait.
the headline again. What was the headline?
the
again?
headline. Oh, what a catastrophe! Right, so listen, right.
Okay.
So last educating Ricky of the year.
Oh, Christ.
What a catastrophe!
Yeah, let's do that then.
Right.
Joy of plum.
There's this woman, right?
Yeah.
This woman, she's reading Guinness Book of Records,
Yeah.
and she's flicking through,
Yeah.
and she notices that there's a world record for a cat, right, with 27 toes, right? So she reads it and she thinks, well, that's not right, because her cat's got 28.
What do you mean your cat's got 28?
Her cat's got 28 toes. So she was like, well, hang on a minute, mine should be in there. So there was
I missed the very beginning of this.
she was
Just looking to the Guinness Book of Records.
Oh,
It's the
a
record.
woman was looking to the Guinness Book of
The
Records.
woman with the cat with 28 toes looking through, and it said the record for the cat's toes was 27. She thought, hold on, hold on a minute, Ross McWhirter. My cat's got one more than that cat. So go on.
Anyway, so she said, you know, the person doing the interview with her said, you know, is it happy? And she said, yeah, you know, it's great, and it's really good in the snow.
Right. It gets you a lot of nail varnish.
Well, you know, that's what it said, right? It said it's really good in the snow. So, I just was thinking, I mean, that's it, really.
That's not it.
That's the end of that story. But
Brilliant.
But what I'm thinking is, like...
It was two cats welded together. What do they do when they do that? Do they put on a... What do they do? Maybe someone could call in and tell us. If you're a woman, and you have a...
Do you want to speak to someone who's got that information?
Yeah, I do want to know. What do they
If you've
use
got
it
that information, I don't want to talk to
do
them.
they construct one? Do they construct it?
From plasticine.
Or do they whack on a dead one?
What?
What?
Whack on a dead one?
Yeah.
What? What? That's not, it's not, what do you mean? No.
When a woman has a knob put on
Yeah.
to have a sex change, where do they get it from? Is it constructed? Do they find, like, I don't
From
know...
a donor.
A donut?
From a donor.
Oh, well, yeah. A donor?
A
What?
donor, yeah.
Yeah, but presumably it's like
Maybe there's someone who
well,
wants
after
to
they're
become-
dead, I mean.
No, I thought maybe
very
there's-
few people. It's not like giving someone a kidney and then sort of like
Maybe,
celebrating
maybe
with
if you're
them.
a guy and you want to become a woman, you've
That's
got one to
true.
spare.
That's true.
Well, a swap.
Yeah, just do a little swap, probably on the internet or something.
Or Noel Edmonds
What do you mean?
on Swap Shop.
He's not a man.
No, but he could go. We got a fella here who got a lovely, nearly new, unused penis. Wants,
Yeah, Keith Chegwin out in
Wants-
kind of Bognor Regis.
wants a couple of tits and a fanny for that. So call in.
It reminds me of the, do you remember the John Wayne Bobbitt story? Which
Yeah.
it's always seemed odd to me. I never really kind of got all the information. Do you remember that one, Karl, where the woman cut off her husband's penis because
When he was
adulterous or
sleeping.
something? I think she she drove off. I think he woke up quite quickly.
Yeah, that's so much better than the alarm
than the
clock,
alarm
isn't it?
call, yeah.
Yeah.
And she threw it off. She threw it out of the car
window.
into the woods,
Yeah.
and he went and found it.
Yeah.
But imagine if he'd got to the hospital and they'd sewn it back on, and he'd gone, "That's bigger than I remember." I'm not sure this is mine.
How many of you cut us where we done Paul the
We done Paul the
That's
Knobs,
where.
I know.
Yeah. That
That was an extraordinary story. And then, bizarrely, he became a porn star.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very strange life that man's had.
Well, it is a bit of a shock to the system, isn't it? Oh, cutting your knob off.
I know.
Do you remember that French bloke, the performance artist of 1910? Do you remember him?
No.
He, as a performance art, he cut his, in a theatre, he cut his knob off to a crowd of people. Now,
What?
That's only a one-night trick, though, isn't it?
Exactly. But what if there had been a bang outside?
They went
and they-
encore. He went, "Look."
Yeah, or they looked outside because a car backfired. He went, "Did you see that?" I go, "What?" I go, "Oh, just cut the..." Did you? Yeah. Think of that.
Sacre bleu.
I know. French are funny, aren't they? Cutting your knob off for your art.
Weird, isn't it?
Longview. Further on XFM 104.9.
As we're having so much fun with penises,
Yeah.
I thought perhaps I should just mention...
That's a slogan.
We should just mention this story, briefly. It's in the paper today. A Russian is selling what he claims is Hitler's mummified penis for £12,000.
Yeah.
Ivan Zadurprov says his ex-Red Army soldier dad hacked it off as a souvenir after storming the tyrant's Berlin bunker after his suicide in 1945.
Yeah. Not.
You
Why
convinced?
did he wait till now?
Yeah.
He's found out that. That might get a bit of £12,000.
£12,000. Which doesn't seem a great deal. Doesn't seem a great deal of money, really.
Well, it's useless, isn't it?
True.
You're not going to be able to use it. It's not going to be able to. It's not going to be a donor. Imagine that if you walked round.
Yeah. You'll never... making love to a girl. You'll never believe who this is.
Yeah. You never believe who's doing you, love.
Exactly. This is going to freak you out.
This is, just relax.
Exactly.
Okay, sit down now. Was
I
that
got a
all
little
right?
surprise for
It was
you.
brilliant, yeah, so you enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Right, are
Did you
you
know
a fan of the Third Reich?
Exactly.
Well, no, awful racist. Okay, let's go a different tack.
Yeah.
You did like the sex. I love the sex. Okay, then. Yeah, it's not gonna be Hitler's knob, is it?
But, I like the idea that, I mean, you're you're in the Red Army.
Yeah.
You've just stormed Berlin.
Yeah.
1945. You crash into the bunker.
You've gone through
Hell.
terrible.
Terrible.
How you've lost 20 million comrades.
Unbelievable.
Oppression
It's been
everywhere.
going on for years.
You're in there, you see the man.
Stormy, yeah, here he is, he's dead.
He's dead, oh.
The figurehead and leader of one of the most despicable, you know.
You turn to your friends, there's a tear in your eye.
Yeah. And your immediate thought is, I ought to chop off his todger.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, I said Bagsy. I said Bagsy
is Winkle.
I said Bagsy is Winkle outside. Whoever it was. Yeah, I didn't know it was going to be Hitler. Brilliant.
It's just, I can't, it just doesn't make sense. It's ludicrous. It's ludicrous. And I don't know how is he expecting to prove this? Because I want some proof.
Well, I think that's why he said that. He probably started off with, oh, I've got Hitler's face. And they went, brilliant. Oh, let's have a look at it. What do you mean let's have a look? Well, just check Hitler's face. Obviously I know what he looks like. Oh, yeah. No, it's not. Yeah, you know what no, it's not his face. What wouldn't you know what it looked like? Well, I mean, no one's ever seen his genitals. That's what I've got.
Yeah.
I've got his.
It's got a little swastika on it.
Is that proof, is it?
Yeah, little
Have you got his ball? Well, no, the Albert Hall's got one, his mother's got the other, so I don't know.
See, the Albert Hall, I would have thought, would probably be paying that £12,000, because apparently they've already got his ball.
Yeah, they got one of his balls.
They got one of his balls in the Albert Hall, his mother's got the other.
Yeah.
But if they got the Todger
If they can track down the one his mother's got, they would have a complete set of Hitler's.
I'm just hoping it doesn't fall into the hands of some kind of crazed genetic scientist.
What, could clone it from his knob?
Could clone Hitler.
Back to, I don't even want to think about the future if that's the sort of way we're going.
Exactly.
If that's the sort of way we're going, Carl, I'd rather not know about it.
What do you make of it, Carl?
Weird, isn't it?
It is weird. I mean, I don't want to go on for this too long. We've probably got about a minute left for the first half hour, and I reckon should can this sort of...
What, 30 minutes of genital talk?
Just quickly, there's one in a museum, I think it's like that London museum.
What? One what?
Well, do you know like how people are buying weird stuff and that to put in museums?
Yeah.
There's this device that, I mean, think about it, years and years ago they used to torture people, didn't they?
Yeah.
Really badly. And the device that they've got...
There's no real good torture, but go on, I see your point.
Yeah, but this device, right, think about it, you've done something really bad years ago.
Yeah.
Right, and you're thinking, oh, what are they going to do? You know what I mean? Could do anything here, it could be the end for me. The device they've got is this thing that you put on your bits, as a fella, and it's sort of metal, so it means you can't sort of, you know, get excited. It puts a stop to you, sort of...
That wasn't a torture device. I think it was a Victorian thing to stop, adolescent boys wanking. They used to have things like wrist things as well with, like, spikes on them. It's not a torture device.
Isn't that?
Well, not really. Imagine that being captured by
No,
right, you're never gonna get hard on again. Alright. Not really a torture device, is it?
And there wasn't that many nice looking women wandering about anyway about then, was there? Didn't get excited about stuff.
What are you talking about?
Well, the filth, it stunk and everything back then.
What are you on about?
Right, we've covered that. No more of that talk now, right? Let's move on.
Filthy,
All Victorian women, filthy and stinky.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Bit of Rolling Stones
Yeah,
and
let's
set
go
up
for
the
it.
old songs of phrase.
Yeah.
Stones, Beast of Burden. We've not played it before. It's an absolute jam. The Rolling Stones, Beast of Burden. Can I just take this opportunity, Rick, to say to Sir Mick Jagger, happy 60th birthday this year, Mick.
Happy 60th birthday this year.
Yeah.
Was it today?
No, I don't know.
Well, otherwise you'd be saying happy birthday to everyone every day. every year.
No, because I don't know Mick Jagger, do I? So I'm just taking the opportunity, in case he happens to be listening today, to wish him a 60th. Happy 60th, or someone who knows him.
What about Brian Ferry? What about Brian Ferry?
How's Brian?
Right, well, I mean, he's got a birthday this year.
I'm not going to wish Brian Ferry a birthday.
Happy birthday, Brian.
Well,
Silence is easy. Star Sailor on XFM 104.9. Right, it's the quiz of the week.
if you want to go out and do some shopping, this is probably a good time, and come back again for about 15:15.
But don't forget, what I will say is, even though these clues, we're going to do songs of phrase, by the way, where Karl picks out a phrase that he might have said once, tries to find words from songs to put it together. You've got to guess as many as you can, song or artist, I can't remember. But even though you might look at it and go, that's mental, I don't know any of them, you might win if you get 2 right. I mean, I think the winner last week got about 3 out of 3
Well,
or
I have
7.
to be honest with you, I mean, last week, Rockbusters, surprisingly, was a very, very popular quiz.
Yeah.
It just happened to be awful.
Yeah.
This one is pitiful. I mean, it's truly atrocious.
Yeah.
And it really doesn't even have a fan base. I mean, there's no one championing this one, Karl. Last week, seriously, mate, I got about
Karl's face.
7 or 8 replies.
Oh god, that's terrible. That was like when you told a kid that you couldn't afford a Christmas present this year. Look at his face.
Yeah, it is a bit distraught.
Karl,
I suppose it's like Chris Evans' face when they said they were cancelling Girls and Boys. It's like, I can come up with great TV game shows like that. No, you can't, Chris. Not anymore.
Oh, his little glasses slid down his nose.
I'm the guy who don't forget your toothbrush.
Yeah. Oh, all that money you owe me. No, you owe us. Oh, can't believe it. I remember we were shown the cartoon version of Animal Farm when we were about like 15, 16. We were discussing it afterwards about, Napoleon, oh yeah, great, oh yeah, communism versus, oh, the poor proletariat and all this. And this bloke went, you lot make me sick. It was just a nice film about some animals. Brilliant.
Yeah. What's your take on that, Carl? No, go on, what's your point? Because you can see the irony there, can't you?
I haven't seen it.
No.
If you want to do a serious point, don't use animals.
No? Well, I disagree with there because I think my favourite is probably Charles Dickens, and I think the greatest story ever told is A Christmas Carol, and there's only one way that could ever be improved, and that is a Muppet Christmas
That's
Carol.
absolutely right, yeah.
So, and I think that you could, and I think people could take a lesson from that and maybe do other films with the Muppets. A Muppet Schindler's List.
Yeah.
I mean, you could make it so moving, couldn't you?
Schindler's List in space.
Miss Piggy's Choice. Well, we talked about that.
What?
About things like that in art as well. Do you think that bringing something so serious to the masses, like films do, things like the Holocaust and like Sophie's Choice, where she has to choose which child lives and dies.
Why does she have to pick?
Well, because the Nazis were horrible, nasty, evil people.
And which one did she pick?
I don't think that's the point. I don't think that's the point.
I love the idea that
this is not a betting game.
No, but I imagine this is like Deal No Deal. It's kind of, you're down to the last two. Which one are you going to go for?
God. But why did you ask which one did she choose? Because even if he'd said the names, Robert and Alison, what difference would it make? You don't know the story. Why is it that
because
you've
then
said...
I'd ask more then. If you said Alison, I'd go, what was it with Alison? What did she have over Robert? That's what films are meant to do. You question it. Whenever I watch a film with Suzanne, I always say at the end, what was going on there?
That's because you're an idiot. Christ. That's because you've just watched Muppet Christmas Carol and you can't understand why a frog's able to talk.
I'm all for films with a good storyline.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That's a perfect point. One extraordinary point.
He's going to follow this up, mate. He's going to follow
He's got
this up.
something there. He's got something here.
Carl, go on then. What's your
No.
take on films?
Films are really good. You can get lost in them.
Right.
And
You like one with a good story?
I mean, whenever anyone asks, it's always the same. It's Elephant Man. It's Kez. Mission Impossible 2.
Mission Impossible 2. These are what you consider great works
No, I'm
of
just
film
saying
art.
these are ones that I've enjoyed recently. There's so many films that I haven't seen, yet you always say, oh, have you seen so-and-so? You
Well,
love
Mission
it.
Impossible 1.
And there's good news for you. 3's out.
That's true. One of the most striking art exhibitions that I ever attended, Karl, was an exhibition of outsider art. Something I'm sure you're very familiar with. Outsider art, of course, is work that is made by people who are often institutionalized for mental health problems, or they are just incredibly, the people who aren't in any way part of the art establishment.
Well, right up to psychopathic murderers, clinically insane mass murderers would count as outsider art. I went to an outsider art exhibition in New York. It was incredible, and I bought a painting of this guy. He's a chronic schizophrenic, and he paints in tar, like road tar, that he gets from roads, and he paints in that on wood he finds in sort of skips, and it's incredible because it's sort of like scratched in, and it's amazing. And there's this thing of Jesus being helped down off the cross. Admittedly, I was walking around there going, this is fucking mental, and James was going, you've got to stop saying that, because of course some of the people are mental. And there was one bloke doing a sculpture of a skull, right? And underneath, it was like a little head with his teeth. Underneath he'd put a sign that said real teeth. Where did he get the real teeth from?
What I think is interesting about that is how much therapy it provides for these often mentally unstable people.
which is another important value of art, of course. People's self-expression, people being able to give a little piece of themselves through their work. Do you not see any value in that? How do you express yourself?
Whistle.
You whistle.
Yeah, I found over Christmas I whistled a lot more than I usually do. And I think that was just freedom.
What do you mean freedom?
Right,
freedom.
expand on this point, if you would.
Well, that's what art is, isn't it? It's you being free of all the world's heaviness on your shoulders.
See, that's a great quote, that. That's great, that. For art is freedom. I love that, because I think you've really hit on something there.
Would you include the free of all the world's heaviness?
Well, I know what you meant. I know what you meant there.
Would you include that one in it?
I mean, I would include the world's heaviness in my freedom. You know, some artists are attracted to the dark side, the heaviness of the world.
But I just want to return to you whistling as your artistic expression of freedom. I mean, why did you find yourself whistling more?
That's what was weird.
So just take us through a typical day. When would the whistling begin?
So this was that you spent Christmas down in Kent with Suzanne and her parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could I suggest something? Your freedom was thinking, I'm in my own place now. I'm going to annoy them.
Well, it was mainly it's when we were playing Scrabble, and they were taking ages to have their go, and couldn't have the radio on because the boiler affects the radio.
You got boiler problems down in Kent as well?
It works. It just gives something off every time it kicks in. The radio goes all staticky.
Right.
So I just was sort of supplying the soundtrack.
And what kind of things would you be whistling?
It was like I just sort of did a whistle medley. It was going from one thing to another.
A Wedley.
And a man was impressed. She was like, "Oh, you can whistle, can't you?" I was going, "Yeah." And then she was saying, "How loud can you go?" I was just doing all different levels.
Sorry, this sounds like a scene from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. The boiler's setting off the radio. I can whistle. Oh, you're good whistling, aren't you? Oh, yeah, Scrabble. Talk about outsider art.
I love the fact that Karl's life is like living in a home when you're in your 80s.
Yeah.
But you felt that this was your way of expressing yourself.
I just found it odd because I don't whistle that much. I think just because I think I'm fed up most of the time when I'm in London, and you don't whistle when you're fed up. Whistling's a happy thing. You never get an angry man suddenly breaking into a
Well,
whistle.
the people who aren't whistling are usually pissed off, but yeah, the bloke who's whistling, it's like, it's the least, he's the least annoyed person in the room when someone's whistling, same as holding a drill. The only person that noise doesn't annoy is the bloke who's drilling. Everyone else wants to punch his face in. Same with whistling. Whistling, there's no point in whistling.
No, there is.
No, there's not.
Don't know. I mean, our window cleaner was known as like, that's how you knew he was there. He always whistled. And in the end, he fell off his ladder, broke his front teeth.
Oh.
Retired.
Well, because he couldn't whistle.
That was it. It was like,
Well, yeah, he
can't
whistled all the time.
Can't whistle,
Well, yeah.
can't clean windows. It's a bit tragic.
Could he take along a whistle? Just pop that in his mouth.
Yeah, I suppose he could have done. I didn't think of that.
What about a flute? Or a recorder? Not London's burning again. Fucking clean the windows and then fuck off.
He didn't really think this through, did he? He retired at the age of 28. And his whole family were bankrupt.
With no teeth.
Yeah.
And just a bucket and a
Why aren't
squeegee.
you working, Dad? Because I can't whistle.
I can't whistle anymore. And if the day you give up whistling is the day I give up window cleaning.
So you never whistle?
No.
I can't really whistle very well. No.
I don't whistle, but I can whistle better than that.
What, you did this for hours on end while playing Scrabble?
About 2 hours.
2 hours?
Hell.
Put my word down.
And
then...
this, sorry, can we just hear that again? Just hear, can we hear it?
So you were
that
whistling, you were whistling after you had your go as well?
Oh, yeah.
Fucking hell, Karl.
But hang on, let's just hear a bit. That is Karl's self-expression. That is his artistic self-expression right there.
A name. No tune, no nothing.
There's mental patients who have smeared canvases with shit who have expressed more than you have in that.
Yeah, but it's not about other people. I'm not there to please other people.
You're there to annoy him.
What was the best word you came up with in Scrabble?
Don't knock me at Scrabble, because I do alright. What's weird is, when I play Scrabble, my brain can come up with words that I don't normally say.
Okay, this isn't... No, I'm intrigued here. Your brain can come up with words you wouldn't normally say.
Just words that I'd never drop into a sentence.
Tree, cat.
Go on.
Squirm. That's using a Q. It's worth 10, that. It's not bad, is it? No, I'd never say that.
I've never heard you. I don't think I've ever heard you say squirm. No, I don't think you're right, Carl. I've never heard you say squirm.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it is weird.
And yet your brain popped that one out.
And then, yeah, when it wasn't I go, just... Anyway, so that's sort of doing art for yourself as opposed for other people.
I don't think you can count what you just did then as art. Hobby maybe, craft, pastime. I don't think you can count that as art. I'm not being funny. I'm being a bit snobby here, but I think there's a difference between Beethoven and squirm. There's a cue in that.